One TV special report.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. This is something to do with the manifestation of Sir Pershing Tanqueta regarding on the digital weighing scale. Okay, for us, I am an ordinary consumer, and then when I buy my LPG, I already assume mo nang 11 kilograms, mauna na ang timbang. We didn't know nga naada ay mga ay dili tong actual gyud ng quantity amo napalit karon pa mi nakabalo kay we thought nga kung dili siya mapuno mo hungaw mo nang usahay tingala mi nganong dali ra kay nahurot, so probably dili siya sa 11 kilogram. Now we trust with our kaning mga namaligya, mga dealers nga mao gyud ang exact nga kanang kilos nga sulod sa mga LPG, because wala man existing mura bitog wala sa merkado pa na, Mr. Chair, timbangan ng bayan. We cannot tell, not an di parehas kang Sir Pershing Kito nga nag-check kaugalingon before i-release. Is there any way that we could at least protect our consumers, Mr. Chair, nga pwede na sa nato kay kanilagi karon pa mi kabalo nga dili naday times ang LPG dili mapuno sa tolerated measure niya nga 11 kilogram, pero less than that is there any way nga pwede ta ka-provide nga mga inana or ang atong ipaprovide yung mga weighing scale ang tanan nga namaligya, so that ang atong consumers ma-protected nga mao gyud na ang exact amount nga gipalit.
That's why we have this ordinance nga iwi sa atong review ang ilang mga LPG.
So we will provide them.
This ordinance.
Pero because the dealer will going to buy
kami na mo
kita na si LPG na mo provide
sa dealer o sa mga retailer.
I wish to be clarified, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Butahan man mo sila o sticker pod nga calibrated na gyud siya. So meaning
Okay.
Pero
this ordinance answers your query. You're fair. Nga one. This ordinance answers everything. Okay na? So, any other query? Sir Pershing.
Tanaw na itong Section 5 of our proposed ordinance. Minimum standard and requirements. Any person, kanang ABC ba? I wonder nga, kining atong requirements sa barangay business clearance, naapa man di ba? Na naman tayo gihimong ordinance na tantangon ng barangay business clearance. I think should be
integrated na sir. Dito na sa city resource office ang hindi na kamatong barangay. Nasa city resource na barangay clearance.
Napag-isuat din.
So, naani sa ordinance pero piso mga mo follow sa ordinance na integrated ng barangay clearance sa city resource office BPLO. Di na kamatong barangay ani. Kailangan tayo ordinansa nga gi-propose na nga integrated ng barangay sa LGU.
Mr. Chair.
So, on sa other query?
Mr. Chair.
I need this, please. You have the floor.
On Section 6, Joint Inspection Team, the City Enro and the Solid Waste and Environment Management Office is one and the same. So maybe what they meant here is the Community Environment and Natural Resources, which is the national office. Would that be? Is this a community environment and natural resources from the DENR? DENR? Or the local ENRO? Because the local ENRO and the SWAMO is one and the same office.
So, can you clarify, Attorney Francis, about this?
So, in Section 7, sir, I noticed here a word, and maybe we have a lighter term for this, Kai. When you say surprise inspection, na connotation nga mag-surprise inspection ta sa mga gasoline station, murag naa sila, guilty sila something, murag surprise manggod. Pero when we say random inspections, murag fair siya gamay. Pwede na to mailisan ang surprise inspection to random inspections.
engineer, itong personsyon nimo sa Sindro, katong nahon. Unsay clarification other advances. Itong first,
Yes, Mr. Chair, I was also recently it was also made known to me recently that Senro and Suemo's offices are one and the same. Am
the
I
same.
correct, engineer? Yes.
The same. So about the wording of surprise and random,
Yes, we will be changing this to random inspections. But, Mr. Chair, in reality, what happens is this. When the City Treasurer's Office will make these calibration, we cannot make these calibrations without the concurrence of their technician. And oftentimes, their technicians are from far-flung areas. So we have to call them in advance to tell them na, okay, we'll be making the calibration, please have your technician ready at this date. Because if we go there unannounced, without the technician, walay mahitabo nga calibration, Mr. Chair.
so in reality, dili gini surprise kay i-random nimo pabao man nga kinamang technician ila patagon, so di na surprise, himo na ng assessment, no? So it's a matter of term, pero ang surprise pwede pala sa random kay di naman sa surprise ani.
Yes, sir.
Kaya actually they need the technicians to be present during the calibration to ensure also nga na sa technical man nga maka-witness calibration.
Yes.
So ang tag-iyagod usay di ni kabalo sa technicality ba. So in reality di gini surprise. So okay na tong random. In this okay na to. Engineer Mumay, please. Your floor.
In connection to what Engineer Tete said, pwede naman siya random inspection gihapon, Mr. Chair, but without the calibration. Kay it is expected that these establishments have already been calibrated. So, ang kato na lang random inspection if they are in violation for katong mga pumps nga natangtang ang seal, katong mga prohibited acts ba. So these are tangtangon na lang ang kaning calibration nga part, just the random inspection of these establishments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Is duly noted? Engineer Mumay. Mampe.
Actually, sir, naman gyud tay schedule nga ihatag for quarterly calibration. Pero beyond ana, kanang na mga surprise nga among giingon nga calibration or inspection, kana bitang na mga complaints, dayon, pwede man na namo good siya, i-calibrate lang gihapon, bisan og walay technician. Pag abot namo dito sa gasoline station, dayon pag-calibrate namo is under delivery siya, bisan to og walay technician, amo na silang butangan og out of order. Mag-wait mi sa technician nga mo abot nga ay na dayon namo hilabtan tong kuan. Ila ang namang ko na sila panel board o maraging na.
So there are certain occasions nga
pero pwede
ta
na
mo
siya
calibrate sa kulay technician. Labi na kung may complaints sa customers.
Biyan na siya sa schedule. Kay first gid namong buhaton karon schedule sa ata. Quarterly. Pero og nana gani mga complaint o nana mga pagduda nga kana sila wala gid na sila ga-deliver insakto nagi under delivery mo nang mo surprise jud mi nila og inspect.
So we have
i-calibrate namo bisag walay technician pero dili namo siya hilabtan butangan lang out of order.
So meaning we have general law nga mo gid na schedule. Pero exception kung may complaints mo na rin this will come nga mahitabo. Okay? So, in other query, para ato ginay kuwag ayo. Sir Presing.
Dili na ni akong parte. How about
You have limitless one.
for the inspection and calibration sa mga gasoline station, how will you conduct it in such a way na dili ma-disrupted ang operation? Kaya maybe mahunong man ang operation kad walay makapalit sa kaya gi-calibrate ang atong pump. Yes.
How many minutes or seconds does it take to undergo the calibration? can we give an idea to the public? Kay basig dugay kayo ang pagkalibit, malangan ang negosyo, makuha ang income kay muato na mas laing isusunod ang customer kay dugay kayo na human, dugay kayo matubiyan, nagdali ang customer. So, how many minutes?
Mr. Chair, by law, we are only allowed to inspect during business hours. So, nag-operate yun na ang mga gasoline stations na to. And in the conduct of our inspection, since we have made mention kanina that we will be averaging 3 calibrations, 3 10-litered buckets. So, per pump, that would take time, and it will vary because some gasoline stations have many pumps. Some are smaller sa uban in number. 2 hours? It's not that the business operations will be hampered, but it is part of regulation procedures man gyud cons and I mean Mr. Chair, and it will be done on a quarterly basis. So we will be calibrating per pump, and I think there are also alternative pumps available naman pod per
sir.
dispenser.
Okay, sir, Presing. Kaning jutay nga dili is a necessary consequence of enforcement of the law. Naagini, consequence. It's a legal consequence, sir, nga madili gamay. Quarterly lang pod. No? It's part of the law, meaning it's part of the law nga madili gamay. So, it's a necessary consequence of the enforcement of the law. Di na ito ni maingon nga.
Dapat na dry run.
Di ato may mga reasonable kay is necessary consequence sa pag-implementa sa itong ballot. Okay? In other query, kay we still have one ordinance to have a public hearing. Mampi, can you give a final statement before we proceed to another ordinance? Imong concluding statement kung wala na ilang query? Sir Kerwin, you have the floor.
Good afternoon. So I would like to make a small clarification to the statement by Konsehal Dinky. So regarding katong sa LPG, Konsehal, once it comes out from the factory, it is assumed nga it has been checked and weighed and calibrated, di ba? To answer your question, when you buy LPG from any brand, we make sure nga ang seal, the seal is intact, wala siya naputol, wala siya giri-attach. So I think all of the brands na amang yun tay corresponding seals na to. And then, I'm not sure sa other brands, but for amo anami QR code, so you can scan the QR code to check for the details that you want to know about sa katong specific tank. And then, kanang usahay nga makaingon ta nga naa siya'y variation supposed to be from the DOE standards. Dili siya pwede nga na variation. Dapat kung 11 kilos gani siya, 11 kilos good siya or above, it should never be below. And then, kanang usahay nga moingon ta nga dali mahurot or naay hungaw, there's a possibility nga dili dili po siya zero nga gikan sa factory, but sometimes it's through the handling na kanang pagkarga, pag-deliver, pag-store sa balay, pag-store sa outlets. So whenever naay nga mga situations, usually you can return that to the seller and i-replace na siya with a new one.
Okay, thank you, sir. I hope that's well explained. Proposiso kanang mura mo kulang bang duda mo na mo kulang kan kay na may sale kita na sale ilaging insure nga wala gyud na kulang ang depensa kamay it could be 11 higher but it can be 11 lower. So kung nga mga mga dali na mahurot, lagmi sa handling according to Sir Kelvin, sa handling sa maong LPG tank, muna nga na-leaking. So, we ensure ni Sir Kelvin nga ang mga dealers nag-insurance nga dili yun na kulang. Kung naidepensa, mubare, it must be higher than 11. No? But not lower than 11. Na may silyo po. Anyway, that's subject to regular inspection sa atong LGO para ma-ensure yun nga the public is fully protected sa atong mga lisante o sa atong mga dealers ani nga mga produkto sa petrolyo. So, one question, Sir Dondon, you have the floor.
Sound. Mr. Chair, may hapon tanan. I was listening to the kaning minimum requirements and all these inspections are dito lang nakapunting sa product mismo. And as I was looking at our colleagues from the Bureau of Fire Protection, our concern is mostly on public safety. That's why, Mr. Chair, wala ba tayo provision regarding sa place of business nga gi-require gyud para sa asa na ipambutang na mga klase sa products? Okay, ang gihisgutan mo is about the product itself. But then, is there a requirement nga specific yun nga kung mamaligya ka, mag-retail ka o ingani nga mga product, dapat ingani yun ang imuhang place of business? Kana lang siguro, Mr. Chair, paklaro.
Okay, Sir Dondon, you could submit your proposal para atong ma-include sa ordinance. Kaahaibot ang imong mga products sa LPG o sa uban nga safety ang public. Okay? So, no more identities, your floor.
I would like to respond to that statement of Sir Don Guangco. Kanang ECC, naana siya table, naa siya threshold, naay nasulat din ha, environmentally critically project. So, katong environmentally critical projects, nasulat na dito ahang area. Kung na-belong siya sa environmentally critical area, like pareha atong bulilit nga naa sa Tinago, kay duol ra siya sa dagat, mo require to siya ECC. So, bisag unsa kagamay nga gasolinahan, nabutang siya sa mangrove, nagbutang siya sa daplin sa dagat, daplin sa suba, environmentally critical project na siya. Dayon, naanay daghan nga conditions na kinahanglan niya i-meet. And daghan po nga mitigations na iyang buhaton.
So, okay. You want to respond, Sir Dondon? You want to respond?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Briefly.
Thank you. I was referring to the kuan sa LPG because there have been several times nga na-observe na to nga katong mga retailers nakabalandra lang ng mga product ba at least karsada. Unya it could be kuan posibleng matampered ba kasi ang mga silyo or kanang dulas mga bata ba. That's why ang kuan bitaw kanang naay kaba na to ba nga basin unya og maka kuan siya no maka-disgrasya.
Okay. Please submit your written proposal, Sir Dondon, para ma-bring na spilare, no?
Yes, sir. Siguro on the area of I appeal na to siguro sa minimum requirements ang katong pag-prescribe yun o asa labi na ng LPG sa place of business. Kung mag-inspekta, muna itong tanahon. Ano lang siguro.
Please submit your proposal, sir. Written proposal. Thank you. Now, I recognize the gentleman raising his hand over there. Sir, you have the floor. Please, tagay microphone, palihog. Please, unsay mga ngalan, sir, and then proceed.
Good afternoon. I'm Alberto Ponteras from Happy Orange Marketing. Mr. Chair, I would like to clarify lang. Kining sa calibration of the required exact net content of the LPG cylinder.
What section, sir? What section?
8B, Section 8B, katong na charges pod bitaw nga 600 and 300 for the dealer and the retailer. May I ask, Mr. Chair, if kining calibration nga giingon diri, would this include our measuring devices, kaning weighing scale?
Can you respond to that? Attorney Francis or Mamuano?
Or would this be
To the query?
plain inspection of our contents? Unsa siya?
Ma'am ano, please respond.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ponteras.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So your question is, if appeal ang inyong weighing
Weighing
scale i-inspect?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir, if you have.
Do we have to pay for the calibrations of the weighing scales again?
No, it's not included. It's part of the
no more.
regulation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, karto lang, ma'am. Thank you. Kay multiple establishments, multiple weighing scales, manggod. Thank you.
Okay, it's clarified. Oh, other query. Ma'am Pei, do you like to make a concluding statement? O Ma'am ano? Can you make a concluding statement of our public hearing now?
I would like to add further lang sa katong query ni Sir Dondon, Mr. Chair, as to the regulation of the place of business. Because we have manifested earlier to add additional violations as to the prohibited acts, and one is non-compliance with the mandatory minimum standards set by the DOE. And I believe that the DOE has already set the standard as to the place of business, the safety included, and violation when found during inspection can be fined. And we would also like to manifest to include CDRMO in the joint inspection team because we have already included the Bureau of Fire Protection, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Is that clarified now? So, what na query about this ordinance? Because, ma'am, you have the floor. Tagay microphone, palihog.
Good afternoon. I'm Catherine Tanolada from Shell's gasoline station here in Osamis. I'd like to clarify Section 8, please, and then letter A. For sealing and calibration of gasoline, diesel, or oil pump, per pump at 300, does this mean per se per pump or per hose? Because some pumps have two hoses only, and some pumps have more than two. They have 4 and they have 6. Because if it's per pump, then well and good. But if it's per hose, because one station could have like 16 or 18 hoses, because that's really high already.
Can you address your...
Calibration is done per
Can you
hose,
address
per
the chair
nozzle.
before speaking, please? Can you address the chair before speaking? Ma'am, ano, do you have the answer to that? This per pump in this ordinance.
Mr. Chair,
Per pump.
per nozzle, kanang yung per hose,
Please clarify. Other passes.
per nozzle na siya. Di din ako.
Mr. Chair, we were working with terminologies here. What the intention of the law is the machinery which expels the liquid petrol, the liquid fuel. So whether the nomenclature is pump or nozzle, as long as it is the machinery which dispenses these liquid fuels, that is what is charged at 300 each.
Is that clarified, ma'am?
Mr. Chair, if I may say so, if it's 300 per hose or per nozzle, and then one pump could have 6 hoses, and some have 8, so that would mean we have 12 or 16 nozzles in one station. So times 300, that would probably amount to 4,000 or 5,000 per quarter. So I think that's really high, Mr. Chair.
So, that
if I-
circumstance, we'll
Their
have to-
definition of per pump is per nozzle, right, ma'am? So that's different because we define pump as the whole dispensing pump, the big one that you see in the gasoline stations. But the calibration is done per nozzle or per hose.
So I think that's significant. The query is significant. Kay muda ko ilang meron kay per pump man. Nya ko na kay 10 pumps. So times 100. So can we clarify further on this? Napailaing explanation, Attorney Francis?
The intention of the law, Mr. Chair, really is to check if these individual nozzles are spewing out the liquid fuel at an accurate rate allowed by law. If we were to make this per pump, it would entirely defeat the purpose because there might be the situation where one nozzle is accurate and the other nozzles would not be.
So, there might be some point of contention on this matter, no? Ma'am, can you make your proposal in writing and submit to the City Council para amo masidan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kay namay kon si attorney Francis nga the nozzle might be defective, no? So, i-check kita nan. So, muda ko po yung bayron, nagdaghan mo nozzle, daghang pump, muda ko po bayron. Can you submit your written proposal para ma-establish sa council?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ate Francis, can you also submit your views on that proposal para maklear sa mga members sa committee?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I would like to also add that the ordinance on which this is based on from Oroqueta is their charge is also per nozzle.
Okay. Submit also your written views of the legal department on that.
Yes, Mr. Chair. The nomenclature used by Oroqueta is pump/nozzle. So we were under the assumption that both pump and nozzle are terms that can be used interchangeably.
Okay. Para makarify sa mga members sa council. So, ma'am will submit her proposal and then justifications, and Atty. Francis also the legal department will also submit their view on the matter. Okay? Ma'am?
Mr. Chair, I would like to request also the committee to recheck and recompute because, as I said earlier, 4,000 to 5,000 per quarter is really high if it is indeed per nozzle. Because if it's per pump, 300, we have 3 or 4 pumps per station, that's fine. But if it's per nozzle, and if I may say so, maybe we can redefine the pump as nozzle because these two are two different things.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll consider that, ma'am. We'll consider that.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, include that in our review and our deliberations on the matter, ma'am. Okay. One inquiry. We now proceed. We now conclude our hearing on that ordinance, ordinance. Now, the ordinance providing for laws and regulations governing the inspection, calibration, and sealing of liquid fuel dispensing pumps, refilling, dealing, and retailing of liquefied petroleum gas. The City of Osamis providing penalties and sanctions thereof. Ang po sa atin po ato nang iin atong discussion ana. We proceed to the second ordinance. Okay. Second ordinance. Ordinance regulating the installation of wires, cables, other foreign attachments on poles within the jurisdiction of Osamis City. Again, please, Atty. Francis, can you introduce the ordinance?
Good afternoon, everyone. The second ordinance, an ordinance regulating the installation of wires, cables, and other foreign attachments on poles within the jurisdiction of Osamis City. Now, recently, a memorandum circular from the DILG was issued to the mayor's office, requesting that the LGU regulate these foreign attachments on poles. The reason being is that we have a situation where poles, for example, let's say, for example, the poles of Moelsi, in reality, it should only be Moelsi who has possession and ownership over said pole. However, what happens is that there are other outside individuals or corporations outside Moelsi who will use the pole, attach their own wires. If everyone would do that, the DILG opined that there might be a situation where the poles would be overloaded and it would cause danger to those who are situated below, or worse, it could actually cause temporary stoppage of infrastructure because nabungkag ang poste, naputol ang mga wires. So the DILG has requested through the memorandum circular that we make our own ordinance to regulate these events. So, the meat of the ordinance is Section 5. Now, Section 5, permit for pole use. Before any wires, cables, and other foreign attachments may be attached to poles covered under this ordinance, a consent to attach must first be secured from the pole owner. So let's say, for example, I am an entity who wants to attach something to the poles of MOELC. I would have to seek permission first from MOELC. MOELC will then give me a consent to attach. Now, unsa may sulod sa consent to attach? The name or the names of the entity who wishes to use the pole, the duration of the attachment, and then the undertaking. Gikan ni Samuel siyang undertaking. Nga og mutugot ko nga kaning entity mukabit sa ako ang poste, dili pa mo sobra ang iyang timbang as allowed by the pole structure or those allowed by law. And then the information of wires, cables, and other foreign attachments. Para asa man nga wire gi-attach, kinsa may tagiyaan ni. So, pag mahatag na ni MOELC, for example, ang consent to attach, ihadin ng dalon sa atong BPLO, kay si BPLO mo issue og permit to attach. Then only then can the wire be attached to the pole. So, bali, duha ka consent iyang pangayoon. Isa gikan sa tagiya sa poste, isa gikan sa BPLO. Kaning consent nga ihatag sa pole owner, dili na manghilabot si LGU, ana. If naamoy dealings with the pole user, pila ang amount, unsa kadugay, dili na manghilabot si LGU, ana. But sa BPLO nga side, the DILG has made it very specific nga the LGU will not be charging fees for the issuance of the permit to attach. Kaya ang ato lang, the entire point of this ordinance is regulatory in nature. I-regulate lang nato ang paggamit sa atong mga poste dire aron dili maalanganin ang mga nasa ubos or muhunong ang atong business dealings tungod kay naay defect sa posting nga putol ang mga kable. So, there are penalties as well. So, penal clause. For pole owners, naa sila'y penal clause. For pole users, naa po sila'y penal clause. Now, for pole owners, number 1, Section 8, pole owners who fail to act on any pending requests for attachment within 45 days of receipt. So for example, ako, a corporation wishing to use the pole of a pole owner. Nagsulat na ko letter sa ilaha and then within 45 days, wala nila gi-aksyonan akong request. That constitutes a violation. Imuhang gialanganin ang trabaho or ang income nga may tabon ta sa pole user. Number 2, failure to maintain and inspect poles or to present documentation as proof of compliance upon request. We have a situation here nga ang mga wire as tang daghan na ang poste kabungkagon na. So there has to be the maintenance, the continuous maintenance of the poles to ensure nga bahalag dili overloaded ang poste, dili gyapon alanganin ang mga nasa ubos. And then number 3, failure to maintain an accurate inventory or to make it available upon request. Number 3 is very important. We now have to have a running inventory of kinsay tagiya aning poste o kunsay naka-attach ani nga mga wires. Why is that so? Because 1059.13 of our local tax ordinance requires that a payment for poles must be paid annually to the LGU. Dapat accurate si inventory because if dili accurate ang inventory nga nasa LGU, that is income coming out of the city. We're not going to be charging sa pag-attach sa pole, ang atong i-charge our already existing ordinance nga magbayad mo sa city if magtukod mo og poste. And then number 4, pole owners who issue a consent to attach. Ang kanang basta-basta lang muhatag og consent to attach, not knowing or willfully knowing nga puno na di ay ang poste nga ilahang dungagan. And then allowing existing poles to be overloaded. For pole users, failure to secure a written consent to attach. So nag-attach lang basta-basta, wala na nangid sa tagiya sa poste, or even worse, wala na nangid sa LGU. Failure to comply with applicable laws, regulations, or standards with regard to pole attachment. This is DILG mandate. Then failure to remove wires, cables, and other attachments when required by the pole owner or the city for any reasonable cause. So for example, dili pa overloaded ang poste pero si LGU nag-require or naghangyo nga ang kanang wire ato lang triman because naay kahoy diha nga dili pwede putlan ang trees because it's an ancient tree nga kanang covered na by DNR. So hangyo na to sila nga tanggalon nilang wire na dili sila musugot, that also constitutes a violation of this ordinance. So pole structural damage, safety hazard, or when the public welfare or safety is of interest. And then attachment of any wire or any other attachments other than that applied for in the permit. Ang ilang panangid ang nakasulat sa consent to attach, isa lang ka wire. Pero ang tinod ay ang ilang gibutang tag-upat, tag-lima. That's already a violation of this ordinance. So any violation, first offense, 3,000, second offense, 4,000, and then third and subsequent offense, 5,000. So there will be a task force as mandated by DILG to ensure the effectivity of this ordinance. So, naay mga specific offices nga gitap like CDRRMO, SWEMO, DILG, a representative from the pole owner and then a representative of the pole user. Nga naman, dili man gud pwede si LGU lang basta-basta mag-inventory. That would be too self-serving. Nga mo declare si LGU nga ang pole din ninyo 4,000 kapin when in reality 300 naman ikabuok para lang mangolekta si LGU. So there has to be someone from the pole user or from the pole owner kay para ang atong running inventory both accurate. Dili pwede mo ingon ng pole owner nga gilamangan sila sa LGU, dili pud pwede mo ingon si LGU nga gilamangan sila sa pole owner. So that's the entire point of the task force nga apilon si pole owner ug si pole user. So I think that's the gist of the ordinance, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Atty. Francis. Actually, aware mo sa concern, no? Murag dugay na kita sa council. Kaya spaghetti wires, dangling nga, mga sangit ang mga sakinan, malangan, usay ang kurinti mapalo kay mga wires, mga putol. No? This constitute a nuisance to the public. No? Nga spaghetti wires, ang uban, nagamita ba? Nga wala gikuha. Ganyan sa time na pasal resolution sa council na ipaklir ang mga poles, mga wires nga wala na gamita. Pero wala ma-clear until the memorandum sa DLG good nga to create task force for clearing of overloaded poles, hazardous poles na, nga overloaded na mga poles nga dangaing wires nga it will now be a nuisance sa public. It becomes a hazard to the public. Kani mga unneglected wires. That's why this local ordinance endeavors to complement this run of the DLG nga masulban ning atong sitwasyon nga dang spaghetti wires itong palibot nga mga truck masangit nga educate danger to the public nga naay mga untoward mga incidents may tabo because of this ensuing circumstance. So, we come with this ordinance now. So, any query now, from the public or from my colleagues, honorables ko, you start the ball rolling, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to ask our City Engineer's Office kung naanabatay inventory sa ato ang number of poles here in our city and kinsa ang owners ani o kinsa pud ang mga users. Thank you.
Engineer Momay, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We do have an inventory, but for Melcy poles only. So there was a joint nga counting, Mr. Chair, together with a representative from Melcy and City Engineering. And then after the counting, maghatag sila report. And then in the report, mopirma ang representative sa Melcy o ang katong nag-represent sa atoano sa which is from the City Engineering. So naa na tay kuan ana inventory sa Melcy alone. However, for other poles such as PLDT o uban pa nga mga kuan telecom, wala pa mi nag-inventory. So, Melcy sa ang giuna kay sila man pud ang pinakadaghan gyud pud.
How many daw? How many?
7,336 if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chair.
So, sa Melcy, ayong giuna?
Around 7,000.
Sa mga ubang nga po, sa mga cables?
Wala pa sila, Mr. Chair. Because some of these cables attach sila sa mga Melcy poles. So that is why there are poles that during the conduct of the inspection nakita nga dili pakatubit ang mga karaan sa Muelsi nga mga poles nga itom na kaayo dili nila matangtang, although wala na didto ang ilahang electrical wirings kay naa pa ang wiring sa mga nag-attach sa ilaha. So that is why I told them na appeal gyud gihapon na sa counting sa inyo ha, because from what I understand naa na sila kontrata ata from the pole owner kanang mag-attachment sa mga wires. Also, Mr. Chair, kaya I also manifest sa kaning kuan sa ordinansa na kung pwede, idugang nato ang mga bag-o nga pole mananghid pod. Kung naabitaw magtukod og pole, magbutang ba, mananghid sila sa atoa. Kay, for example, if Muelsi will add another pole, dapat makabaluta kay muad man to sa counting, di ba, sa ilahang post. So, as of the latest counting na as like 7,000 plus. So, if this year, if they will add 10, karon na po ito nga year nga mo count, di ba, as per ordinance na to, previous nga ordinance, 500 per pole. So, karon na po ito nga year. Pero dapat mananghid sila para muad to, or whatever nga mga telecom companies nga magbutang og pole, maad to siya sa kanang accounting sa sunod, Mr. Chair. So, maura po na siya, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Hindi mo is it safe to assume nga the dominant poles here are poles of the municipio?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Sila mo'y kinadagan. The rest, mangod sa mga telecommunications, nag-attach sila. Cable companies, mga telecoms, even gatong mga telecoms nga wala na nag-function or wala na dire, naa pagihapon. And for the information sa tanan, there's already a clearing operation every Friday of the week. So, it is good that we have this ordinance, Mr. Chair, kay at least na-ordinance na gyud siya nga there is really that clearing operation. Wala pa gani may gingalan ato nga clearing operation. Basta kay every Friday, they will meet up supporting ra ang city engineering if ever they need equipment. Pero they will meet up every Friday kay nag-clearing na sila sa mga wirings nga wala na gamita, Mr. Chair. And I think you can also see nga nahumana nila ang katong there is sa Port Road, there is sa ato ang circumferential road. So na-clear na nila, Mr. Chair.
Okay.